Hey guys, this is Homework with Miss Ray, and I have a partner here with me to help us get our homework done. Say hi, Zoe.
Hi.
All right, so it is early Saturday morning, and we are working getting this homework done for you guys. And Zoe was ear hustling, listening to me read the stories, and so she wanted to help us out. All right, so we are writing an essay explaining whether it is important to have support in life. And so we looked at some categories. So Zoe, go ahead and read our categories for each story.
Okay. The art efficient soldier.
The Afghanistan
Soldier. Pain, loneliness. The soldier in armored carrier. Fear, courage, pain. The mother with the son with seizures. Fear, pain, perseverance, and love. The mother of the daughter with cancer. Fear, pain, love. The transporter. Fear, worry, pain, betrayal.
Very nice. All right. So on the next page in your interactive notebook, you need to create the following. So if you don't want to make a chart, that's fine. You really don't have to, but I need it laid out just like how you see on the screen. So there are 3 ways that we can write these thesis statements. Now remember, we have 2. How many do we have in our thesis statement? 2 topics that we're using for our paragraphs. So if it's positive, it's going to look something like this. It is important to have support in your life because, reason 1, and reason 2. If it's negative, it is important to have support in your life because if you don't, reason 1 and reason 2. And then for those of you who are a little gangster who like a challenge, you can do both. So it is important to have support in your life because, give me the positive. However, if you don't, this is what will happen. Okay. So let's go back and look at some of those stories. So the Afghanistan soldier, do you remember how many letters he got?
No.
4. He got 4 letters, right? So he was in Afghanistan and he had 4 letters from 2 friends and he was ready to come home, right? So when he got home, did he have a lot of people there to greet him? No, right? He tried to link up with his friends, but they didn't really hang out that long afterwards. And so he was left by himself. Did you think that this was an example of positive or negative support?
Negative support.
Why?
Negative support is because he wasn't thinking of anything good. He was only thinking of everything that was bad.
Nice. I like your reasoning. All right. So what about the soldier in the armored carrier? So that was the story about the guy who almost got set on fire.
Well,
positive or negative? Because he was trying to save his friend, but then I think he gave up. What do you think?
Negative support.
Negative support. Why?
Negative support because he just actually positive support because he was trying his best to get his attention of letting go of the exits thingy.
Mm-hmm. The little thing that's up there. Okay. So he tried to help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What about the mother with the son with seizures? How, even though she was sad that he had seizures, did she try? Is she trying to help him?
Mm-hmm.
Did she abandon him? Positive support, right? She didn't drop him off somewhere and be like, forget this kid. He's sick. She's sticking with him. What about the mother of the daughter with cancer?
Positive support.
Why?
The positive support because she still loves her daughter, and even though she has cancer, she won't stop giving up to help her.
Nice. Okay. What about the transporter, the woman who got locked up for selling drugs? Was that positive or negative support?
Negative.
Why?
Negative support because she knew it was bad, and she did it anyway because she wanted to help her children, even though it was a bad thing to do.
Okay. All right now. All right. So this is what Zoe and I's chart looks like after thinking about the story. So, Zoe, are we going to do positive, negative, or are we going to do both? One apiece.
Let's do both.
I like both. That's more fun. All right. So you got to choose 2 stories if we're going to do both. So I need a story that's negative and a story that's positive.
I have 2 stories.
From what we have on here.
Well, I would say the soldier.
What you doing with your... The soldier and what? The Afghanistan soldier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the mother of the son with seizures.
Okay, so we're going to do the Afghanistan soldier and the mother with the son with seizures. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to write it down here. Okay, you ready? Based on this story, the Afghanistan soldier, we're going to fill in the blank. It is important to have support in your life. No, we're going backwards. So this is positive. It is important to have support in your life because if you do, based on this story, why is it important to have positive support?
The reason why you're supposed to have positive support is to help you in your life when everything's going wrong or going down.
Ooh, I like that, girl. So it is, okay, so it is important to have support in your life because you can have someone
when you need it.
When you
need them.
I like what you said before, though. You can have someone when life is what?
Tough.
Ooh, when life is tough. Nice. Okay. However, if you don't have support, what happened to this soldier because he didn't have support?
He wasn't that graceful, and he didn't have anybody beside him, so he might just...
What would you say? If you don't have positive support, what will happen? What happened to him when he got home?
He felt really sad, and I think he felt a little upset. You will be lonely, and I think he will be lonely, and
you'll be lonely, and
we'll have to find friends that will always stay by his side.
That's long. That's long. All right, let's see. And if you don't have support, you'll be lonely. But what's a consequence of being lonely?
The consequence of being lonely is not trying to make everything right again.
I like that. So you will be lonely and you may not be able to be the same or have things like they were. Maybe. Okay. So these were the 2 that we chose. I'm not going to ask you to do it for all 5. So I want you to take time to choose 2 of your own. Which 2 stuck out to you? And right underneath the titles, or Miss Ray, I wrote too big, I don't have enough room, do it under your categories if you need to. But just like we did last week, we took time to think about how each story was an example. You're going to do this tomorrow for each of your stories that you did for your categories. So I'm going to do my thesis. We decided to do both. So I'm just going to slide this down and move it out the way.
The video's still playing.
I know. They hear me sing all the time. All right. So it is important to have support in your life because, what did we say?
You can always have somebody by your side when you need them.
Well, you said this, so we're going to stick with what you said. I just copied and paste. So you can have someone, when life is tough. That's 14. All right. However, if you don't, you will be lonely and you may not be able to be the same. I got to change that. I don't like how I wrote it. What? All right. If you don't, you will be lonely and you will have a negative outlook on life. I'll do that.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Even though I don't know what an outlook is.
So an outlook is how you see the world. Yeah, an outlook is just how you see the world. So if someone's bullying you every day, how do you think you would see the world?
I would see the world as a mean, cruel.
Right. But if you have friends and you're popular, you're healthy, your parents love you, you would see the world as what?
Smiley faces.
All smiley faces. The world is great. So depending on how your experiences are in life and how people treat you and what happens determines what your outlook is. Okay? Like when we watched bedtime stories last night with Adam Sandler, and he told them what about dreams and fairy tales, about the ending. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
He told them what?
He told them stories about outer space.
Yeah,
cowboys.
But remember how he said his stories ended. Do you remember?
They ended in real life.
They ended in real life. So in the story Bedtime Stories, we watched it last night, the movie, he told them, they were like, why does your story end bad? And he was like, well, all stories have bad endings because in his life, everything always went wrong. Nothing ever worked out for him. So his outlook was that nobody gets happy endings, right? That's what I was trying to get you to remember. Okay, so here's our thesis. It is important to have support in your life because you can have someone when life is tough. However, if you don't, you will be lonely and you will have a negative outlook on life. Okay, so you need to create your thesis statement, and your thesis statement should not be like mine. It should be original. Okay. All right. If you can't, that is fine. You can steal ours, but I really want you to try to think of something on your own. All right. So now you're going to create your bada bing. What were you doing when you saw something that made you think? Your bada bing needs to have to do with support. Okay. So I'm going to I need my arm here. I was sitting at home doing homework when I was sitting at home watching TV when I saw my sister struggling with her homework. Period. This made me think. Bada bing. Would she be more successful if I helped her?
But it depends if you're older or not.
Well, let's just assume I'm older, okay? So that's my bada bing. I was sitting at home watching TV when I saw, when I saw my sister struggling with her homework, period. This made me think, would she be more successful if I helped her?
C.
C. Yes, she would.
It would be very helpful if you explained her homework by helping her with her homework.
Right.
Like you're helping your children understand homework.
Right. Right. You got it, sister. All right. So,
I'm only 7 years old.
Excuse me. All right. So I wrote my thesis by using my chart and choosing 2 stories. So when I start writing my essay, I got my, this is not my paragraph 1. I got my paragraph 1 and I got my paragraph 2, okay? So I have my thesis, I have my introduction. Now I need to put it all together to have an introduction, okay?
Homework.
So I was sitting at home, not gone, at home watching TV, comma, when I saw
my sister struggling with her homework.
That's right.
This made me think, would she be more successful if I helped her? Question mark. Question mark.
I was going to change it. This made me think, would she be more successful in school if I helped her? Should I add that?
Mm-hmm. And then you could put the answer right here.
I'm going to do with math.
Math.
Struggling with her math homework. Shout out to my girl, Miss Minky.
Miss Minky?
Miss Minky. That's your friend.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw my sister struggling with her math homework, this made me think, would she be more successful with math if I helped her? Now I'm going to slap my thesis on there. It is important to have support in your life because you can have someone
to help you
when
life is tough.
You can have someone to help you
when something's tough.
When life is tough. However, notice I got 2 commas, friends. However, if you don't, you will be lonely.
Mommy.
And have a negative outlook on life. What? Are you embarrassed?
No. I just don't want my class to see this. My class.
They won't see it. All right. So on your interactive notebook, you should have the following. You should have which stories you're going to do for your paragraph 1 and your paragraph 2. You should also have a thesis topic statement for each story. That's what we did here. You can have someone when life is tough. This is an example of being lonely and things not being the same. Okay? Then you should have an example. So even if you didn't do positive or negative and you did both, I still want you to write it because you'll need it today or tomorrow. So you need the positive example, the negative example, the example for both, and then you need to actually fill in the one that you chose. Okay? You need your bada bing, and then I need a whole introduction put together. I'm going to be looking for this tomorrow. All right, that's all we got. You guys have a good night. Say bye.
The video's still